Hello guys, this is PuertoRecon and today we have one of the hottest guns of the 2018 that came out at SHOT Show in Las Vegas. And this is the gun that is on everybody's mouth for good and for bad. Yes, this is the Sig Sauer 365. P365 came out at SHOT Show and everybody was talking about how good and revolutionary this gun was. And they were right, this is a micro compact concealed carry gun that can carry 10+1 or 12+1 rounds. And this was changing the game on 2018. The gun was a little stiff at the beginning when you bought it, but once you use it, it was getting better and better and better. I never ran into any issues with this gun, but there are a lot of problems out there with different people. If you never heard anything like that, Military Arms Channels or MAG have bought already 3 guns I think, and all of 3 of the guns have failed. Let's start with the obvious. The 365 is a really small gun. Probably one of the smallest guns on the market, but guess what? It feels amazing when you hold it. The ergonomics of this gun are really good. Even I had to do a couple of draws. I had to practice a little bit between my Glock 19 and the Sig Sauer because the size of the Glock are a little higher than the Sig Sauer 365. What made this gun so amazing is the combination of size and capacity. Being one of the smallest guns on the market at the same size as the Glock 43, it still can hold 10+1 rounds or 12+1 if you got the extended magazines. Let's be real, this is one of the things that every company wants to do out there. They want to have the smallest gun without sacrificing their capacity. So Sig Sauer got to fit 10+1 round on this pinky extension magazine, 10+1 round on this flush magazine, and 12+1 round in your extended magazine. I don't have an extended magazine yet, but I will be getting some soon. If you compare the P365 with their competitors, most of them have half the capacity as this little guy. One of the things that I like most about the 365 is the price. I personally got this gun for $535, but when this gun came out, everybody was selling it for like $800. Some people were buying it for less money, but then they sell the 365 for $800, $900, and everybody was buying it because there was a lot of demand out there and not enough guns. I had the lot that I signed up for a waiting list at my local gun range. I think the name is Xray's gun range, and they come in within 3 days. But they have 5 guns, I think. 5 guns, yes, 5 guns. Then they cut everybody in the list, and whoever go to the range and paint the gun first, that's the one that get the gun. I got the luck that I paid right away over the phone, pick up my gun the same day, and there was no problem with that. So I barely have to wait. I got the 365 at Red's for $535, and the retail for this gun is about $600. This is impressive since Sig accomplished to fit all this round in such a small pistol. They kept the price low at the same time, so it's a win-win. Talk about the magazines a little bit. If you want to carry this gun as a concealed carry, the best option you have is your flush magazine. This magazine is so small you will never see it through your shirt, through your pants, through anything. But I personally like the pinky extension because when I shoot with this magazine, I'm missing some grip on my pinky and I'm not as accurate as I want to be. The second option you have when we're talking about magazines is the pinky extension. It's not much as a difference between these two, but the pinky extension have about 1/8 of an inch more that you get to grip, and for me it make a huge difference. When I was shooting with my flush magazine, I was jerking my gun to the left all the time and I was missing my target. Once I used the pinky extension, I got that extra grip that allowed me to hold my gun straight and hit the target almost every time because I'm not the best shooter. It's such a small of a difference that instead carrying my flush magazine that I would say is the best option if you can grip your gun properly. I'd rather carry this one. I just still cannot see the gun when I conceal carry. The pinky extension magazine also holds 10+1 rounds. The last option, but not least, is the extended magazine. This one holds 12+1 round, and I wish I can show it to you, but I don't have it with me. I don't own it, and I'm planning to buy one soon. I believe it's also a little different between the pinky extension and the extended magazine, so a lot of people rather carry the extended magazine since they're gonna have 2 extra rounds in this little package. The way they accomplish to fit out this round on such a small gun is to use a tapered design. This means the slide is really thin and the magazine part or the grip is gonna be a little bit thicker. The design inside the magazine is 1.5 stack. What is that? The rounds are not stacked on top of each other as a single stack magazine, and they are not side by side stacked with each other like a double stack magazine. Instead, they're stacked in an angle, I would say a 45-degree angle, and they can fit more rounds in such of a thin magazine. I don't know how the other companies never think about this design, but it's what making Sig Sauer P365 more famous than other guns. The P365 has no external safeties because it's not ideal to carry a gun and have your safety on. Because if you decide to defend yourself and pull the gun out and pull the trigger and you forget to take off the safety, you're gonna have a bad time. The P365 has no trigger safety, but when you pull the trigger, it feels really good. This trigger feels like a really piece of metal. This is not your traditional trigger, this is a metal trigger with no safety. There is actually a heavier trigger pull, but this will help you to not have any accidents by accidentally pulling the trigger. And the feel from this trigger is also another thing that separates the 365 from the other guns of its category. The reset for the trigger of the 365 is really crisp. It's a little of a long pull and relatively short. Here we got the reset. Super crisp reset, and I like that. You also have the traditional chamber indicator on your 365 right on the side. When you have a round in there, it's gonna be flush. But something unique about the 365 is the loaded chamber indicator at the top. You have like a little window on top of the slide by the chamber that you can actually see the bullet, and I personally think this is incredible. I don't have to do my press checks anymore. I just can look at the gun, I get around, we're ready to go. I never seen this before. That's pretty cool. This is my favorite part of the 365, and this is something that fascinates me. These are the Xray 3-day-night sights. This sights definitely my favorite feature. The Sig Sauer P365 come with the Xray 3-day-night sights that they're gonna be nice big dots during the day. You have your front post that is green and the two in the back look white. But when it's nighttime, you're gonna have 3 really defined dots, green dots, that you will be able to see from a mile away. So if you got the 365 and you carry on the day or in the dark, you're gonna be ready to aim with these sights. And on the same note, these sights are really accurate. Once I put my pinky extended magazine, I was able to hit my target most of the time. The P365 have amazing ergonomics. I love how it feels on my hand, and the grip texture is on point. It's enough texture that it will not slip out of your hand, but there is not too much texture that can be uncomfortable. And no matter the size of this gun, the ergonomics make it feel like it's part of your hand. I love when I hold my 365 and I love when I carry it. Also, the grip for this gun is pretty high on the gun, really close to your slide, where it will allow you to control this gun at any times. And this is a very important thing because a 9mm of this size tend to kick a little more than what you expect, and with the hand this high on the gun, you're able to receive that recoil straight to your hand and not above, where it can cause your gun to slip out of your hands. Now, the striker pin. This is a very controversial topic about the 365, and this is because most people have an issue with this gun when they're shooting. And this is a big issue because a lot of people have complaints about this. A lot of problems that people are having when the striker pin is trying to hit the primer on the back of the bullet, is dragging a lot. So instead of making a dot, it's making like a line. And when this is too much, your striker pin breaks. This is a really big complaint among the 365s. I personally shoot about 500 rounds in one day and it did not break. So I have no issue with my gun so far. But if you watch the videos from Military Arms channel, Mac, he already bought 3 different 365 and all of them broke the striker fire pin. This is a big issue because people will not trust this gun when they are carrying it, or they don't want to buy the gun because have malfunctions. And when you think about it, you want to buy a gun that when you take it out of the box, it just gonna work. For this reason, I will highly recommend to beat the shit out of your gun. Use it all you can to make sure your 365 is one of the good ones and is reliable. So far, I trust my 365. I don't have much of a drag on my strikers, and I trust it a little bit because since a lot of people are having troubles, I'm doubting about mine. Maybe I'll carry it in the future, maybe not, but my Glock 19 is always gonna be on my arsenal, and I know that gun is super reliable. The striker fire pin was a big concern for me when I was buying the gun, but I went for it anyways, and I went out to the range and tried my gun over and over, and I have like 600-700 rounds maybe, and it's still working perfectly. This is not the case for everybody, and I would recommend to keep going out there and beat the shit out of your gun and try it and make sure it's reliable for you. My favorite feature of these guns are the Xray 3-day-night sights. The small size of this gun is super compact with 10+1 round, and this is a big plus for me. The ergonomics feel like the gun is part of your hand, and I love that. The last feature I absolutely love, the slot on the top of the gun where you can see that your 365 is loaded or not. I love my 365. I think this is a revolutionary gun. I will teach all those companies around Sig Sauer that you can pack more capacity on those small guns. Another complaint I have when I hold my gun, I have pretty big hands, so my thumb is almost passing the front of my gun. I noticed this because I was shooting and my thumb was getting black from the powder. This is pretty dangerous if you are not aware. If your thumb is really close to that end, the flash can burn you, or you can even shoot yourself. So be aware of that. So this is all I have to say for the Sig Sauer P365. I think it's an incredible gun, but you need to be careful and make sure your gun is reliable. So if you like this video, please hit the like button below. Please subscribe and see you till next time. Woo!